It's time to grow and scale your coaching business the impact-driven, simple and sustainable way. Welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I'm your host, Sofia, mindset and business coach, supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business and beyond using the Rising Coach method. I built $1 million business by the age of 26 in under 4 years, and I've coached hundreds across the globe to build incredible businesses that create freedom and fulfillment whilst having a whole lot of fun along the way. And in this podcast, I will teach you the mindset, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. Happy 2024, everyone. I hope you're having the best start to the new year. And what better way than for me to break down my entire yearly plan for you so that you can get some golden nuggets today about what you can implement in your coaching business as well. 2024 is going to be all of our years, guys. I am so excited. This is going to be my biggest and best year yet. I can feel it in every single cell of my being. And I, of course, want it to be the best for you as well. So I'm going to go straight on in and share with you very transparently what I'm going to be doing as my marketing strategy for 2024 to bring in over $600,000. Okay. I'm going to break this into 3 parts. I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be doing and focusing on to attract high quality leads, what I'm going to be doing to nurture those high quality leads so that they are ready to convert into high paying, high quality clients. So they are the 3 sections I'm going to be breaking today's episode into: attract, nurture, and convert. This is the framework that I teach my clients as well to get super clear on, because they are all 3 different processes, and when done correctly, sales becomes effortless, business becomes fun, and you scale. Okay, so what am I going to be doing in 2024 to attract more high quality leads into my space? Well, I'm going to be doing quite a few things, so let me break this down. Firstly, I'm going to be really focused on creating more and higher quality content. I'm going to be doubling down on the podcast, Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I'm going to be producing more free value than ever before, and not fluffy free value, but like genuine free value. And I'm going to be focusing on Facebook ads as well, which is something I have not ever prioritized within my business yet. Everything I have done up until now in the 4-ish years I've been in business has been organic, and it's served me so well. I've built my business to over $1 million. And I know that by leveraging ads correctly, or at least this is my intention and my hope, is that all it's going to do is amplify what's already working exceptionally well within the business. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Let me break down what that's actually going to look from a practical standpoint. What am I going to be doing differently, adding, taking away, all of the things. So firstly, with the podcast, I'm going to invest in a better background / video quality, so that I can create reels from the podcast and repurpose it better, and that content be good. I also just want to prioritize the podcast in general. It's one of my favorite platforms, and I just want to double down on it. So I know that by improving the quality in all of the ways, sound, video, and visuals, that's going to serve me across the board, not just for the podcast, but also for the repurposing of the content. So I'm going to invest in that. I'm getting a vibe of, if any of you are watching the video right now or have seen my podcast videos, more often than not, my background is my bookshelf, which is full of color-coded books, and it's very beautiful, but I'm just feeling something a little bit more luxurious and upgraded. At the moment, I'm feeling like more of a plain background, but with some colored lighting or something. Yeah, I don't know. That probably doesn't make sense unless you are inside my brain, but I'm just thinking something a little bit more modern, a little bit more simplified, because that is really me. Whilst I love my color-coded bookshelf, ironically, as I record this episode, I'm not there today. I'm at my partner's office space using his podcast setup, but that is what I want to do, just have a more modern professional looking background. I feel like, yeah, like I said, whilst I love my bookshelf, it kind of like is kind of childish with the rainbow colors. And whilst I get so many compliments on it, just feeling like if I want the podcast to be more professional and upgraded and amplified, then with that needs to be updated branding for it. So that's something I'm going to look into. When I do that, I'm not sure, that might take some time, but that's going to be the plan. But in the meantime, I still want to do some research on what are great ways to improve the video and sound quality of the podcast and how I can create better repurposing processes around that as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I do currently repurpose my podcast videos because I film it onto YouTube as well. So if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you would see them there as well. And my virtual assistant, who's incredible, who edits the podcast as well, she clips my podcast into short reels, which also go onto TikTok as well. So we do a great job at this. I just want to amplify and improve it where I can. So that's going to be focus number one around the podcast. Second of all, when it comes to more high quality content, like I spoke about, I've noticed what is working really well on Instagram at the moment is lifestyle content. People are craving raw, authentic realness. I think people are kind of sick of like promotional kind of content, or they can just see through it a lot easier. But what I see working really well is people merging their lifestyle videos or photos, and then putting their value from their business mixed in that. So I'm going to have to get really good at remembering to film my lifestyle, even if it's just like me typing on a computer or working at a cafe or on my holidays or with my partner or whatever I might be doing, even just cleaning the house. Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but I see a lot of reels on Instagram where people are doing something completely irrelevant to what they help people with. So they might be like literally mopping the floor, but then the caption of the reel will be very business orientated. So it like grabs people's attention because people love lifestyle stuff and it's more relatable, and that hooks them along with a really catchy title, and then they end up reading the post rather than it being like a big promotional graphic. And I'm not saying that doesn't work at all. I just think what's going to be a big trend in 2024 is more authentic and realness, because people are craving that, especially since AI in 2023 went up to a whole new level, and it's just going to continue to do so. The more real and authentic you can be, the better. So I'm going to get good at remembering to film my personal life, because whilst I share a lot publicly, when I'm with my favorite people, my partner, my friends, my family, I'm not on my phone. I'm very present, and all the most special moments in my life, I actually don't film or record. It's mostly my business that I'm, showing up online for. And I think I need to bring you more into my life, because something I realize is I actually have a very, very incredible life. I don't have many people in my life that actually have as much freedom and spaciousness as I do. And I think I forget to show how incredible that really is. Even to you guys, if you really knew that my calendar was literally empty most days of every single week, how much freedom I have, how much money is coming into my bank account, and how much of that is actually a profit, you'd probably be mind-blowing. And I think I need to dive into that more and own that more and share that, because it seems so normal to me now, because this has been my reality for quite some time, and it feels quite effortless because of me being in alignment with my values and integrity, and I'm very intentional and all of the things, and my mindset has allowed me to create this. Of course, there is so much room for growth, but I'm actually incredibly proud and grateful for the life that I have. I'm very, very comfortable now at this point. I do want to stretch myself, and that's exactly what I plan on doing this year. But I think I need to share that more with you, because all it does is shows you that it's possible for you too, because I did not have some fancy qualification or university or college degree, haven't been in business for decades on end, and I didn't start when it was super easy. In fact, I started at one of the hardest times possible, which was right when the global pandemic hit, and my business is doing exceptionally well. So if I can do it, you can do it too. There's nothing special about how I started, other than I was super committed, super ambitious. I invested heavily in myself, continue to do so, prioritize long-term mentorship. I don't fall into unhealthy patterns or self-sabotage or anything like that. I just double down on what really works, and I really want that for you too. So with that being said, that is what I'm going to prioritize, filming more of my lifestyle and merging that with the value I show to be a walking example of what is possible for you. The third thing I'm going to be doing when it comes to attracting high quality leads, like I said briefly, is I'm going to collaborate with someone who can help me with ads. So that is what is transparently in the works right now, with someone incredible who is going to partner with me when it comes to the ad side of things. So that's a very new thing in my world, but it feels really, really aligned, and I'm so excited about it because ads is not my strong suit. I have a lot of awareness about it, but the how-to of it, I actually do not desire to learn it, nor do I have any idea how to do it. So it's definitely something I want to work with someone with, but in a really aligned way, so it's not working for me, but rather with me, as I think that that's really important, and that person is really incentivized to do so as well. So that's what's in the works at the moment. I have dabbled in a couple of ads in the past and not had very much success. Again, it was quite a while ago. I had no idea what I was doing, and all of the things that I won't go into, but essentially I feel in a much better place to be focusing on ads now, as like I said, I've got a lot working and going really well in the business right now, and I believe that my limiting factor is just getting in front of even more people. And whilst I don't believe there's necessarily a cap with organic marketing, it certainly can be, when done correctly, a lot faster and easier when ads are utilized. Of course, it comes at a cost, but that is, something I have available to me. And if that makes my life even easier and allows me to impact even more people, of course, I'm going to do that. So that's something I'm focusing on. Again, might take some time to fully get going and working and set up. But that's something that's going to be a huge focus. And I think once it's gotten, all of that in place, I think it's only going to be extremely positive and helpful. So that's something. I'm dedicated to providing you with as much valuable free content as possible to help you to grow and scale your coaching business sustainably. That's why I'm constantly rolling out new resources and events for you. To ensure that this podcast stays fresh with the latest offerings, I've compiled all our current free and paid offerings in one convenient place. Simply head over to www.sofiarosebernardi.com/links or follow me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi for the latest offerings. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, and let's get back to the episode. Next thing I'm going to be doing is being extremely generous with the value that I provide. So I really hand on heart believe that I have always done very well at this. I don't really leave anything unsaid in my events or my freebies. I really give my best stuff away, and I just want to double down on that even more so in 2024 because it works so well. So I just want to do more of it, more freebies, more random giveaways, and also running more events, which I'll get more into in the nurture section. But yeah, I just want to be extremely generous and just give my best stuff away and get really good at being able to do that fast and easily, so that I can just give more and more and more. As I think what happens when I do this is that it just builds a lot of trust with people, which I find to be incredibly important. It will just make the whole process a lot faster, especially if I'm going to be introducing ads. They are colder people. They're typically, more often than not, people that have never seen or heard from me before. They won't have anyone that knows me as much. And so the more value I can give, the faster they're going to warm up being ready to purchase from me. So that's the plan there. And then the the fifth and final thing I'm going to be doing to attract more people is improve my website. Now, I don't believe websites attract people as per se. I believe like your content, your brand, and your marketing is what gets people onto the website to begin with. But again, if I'm going to be running ads, which I intend on doing, the first place they do go from the ad is typically the website, and therefore it needs to perform exceptionally well. My website currently, whilst it looks beautiful, I get a lot of compliments on it all the time, people asking me who did your website, like blah, 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 asking for tips and things, and I did it. It is a little bit slow. It could be optimized so much better and all of the things. It just needs a big makeover, and not even a makeover. It more just needs to be way more efficient and optimized and SEO friendly and blah, blah, blah. So that is something I'm focusing right in this very moment actually, is getting that up to scratch and improved so that when people from ads come to my website, it will just get people exactly where they need to go in the best, fastest, and most easeful way possible. So that's everything I'm going to be doing to attract high quality leads in 2024 as part of my marketing strategy. So in summary, more high quality lifestyle content merged with business value, double down on the podcast, more free value than ever before, and going to run ads. So that's everything there. Let me move on now to nurture. What I'm going to be doing to nurture these these leads into warm leads. So I'm going to be running 8 online events throughout 2024. This, of course, could change. Not everything goes to plan in life or in business. In fact, a lot of the time that doesn't happen, right? The world and our life is very unpredictable. There are many things we can do to ensure that things do go to plan as best as possible, but that doesn't always happen. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. There's only so much, I can share here. But my intention is to run 8 online events. We are, at the time of recording this, running one next week. And when you're listening to this, it will be next week. So if you would like to register for that, the link will be in the show notes for you to do so. Otherwise, come DM me if you're watching this at a later date. I'm sure we're running another one on a different topic. So just DM me because, planning on running a lot this year. So planning on running 8 online events. Again, though, because I'm intending on adding ads into my business model this year, that could change a lot of things up. We might find that, I create an automated event and it works so exceptionally well that it's not required that I run so many live events. However, it is something I really enjoy and I get a really great conversion from. And, if I took events out of my business model, I would literally have nothing to do because so much is automated and set up. I'm so well supported in my business and I love running events. I love connecting with you all. I love helping you all. So unless I freaking made a podcast episode every single day, if I wasn't running online events, I would just have way too much free time. So I think I'm going to do it regardless. But again, when you add something new into your business model, that is of course going to change the game in many ways. And it might require that I need to change my events process a little bit. Like maybe they need to be slightly longer to accommodate with ads or shorter or whatever else. So anyways, the intention is mapped out. I have the dates locked in for everything, but I could change things as time goes on. But at the moment, we've got 8 locked in throughout the year. It's a combination of paid and free events. So we've got 4 paid ones and 4 free ones at the moment. Really excited about that. I'm also going to be way more intentional with conversations with people and leverage my Facebook group so much more. So let me break all of this down. So with my events, I'm just going to be ultra organized and ahead of ourselves so that we can actually do 8 events because last year in 2023, we did 6 events. So we are doing 2 more than usual, which is fine. It's not going to be an issue, but it just requires that I continue to be as organized as I have been up until this very moment. So that's that. The second thing I'm going to be doing to nurture the leads that come my way is make it easy to turn my videos into content for easy repurposing. So like I said, we already create reels from the podcast and leverage that into content, and improving the quality of that will be really great. But I think there are other things we could probably do to make creating content a lot easier. So it could be extracting the transcript from the videos and literally just turn what I say in a video into a post instead of me having to write the post. I think there's going to be like things like that I could double down on and leverage that's going to make my life a lot easier when it comes to content creation. I'm going to look into what ways we can do that. Just so we can be pumping out as much high quality content as possible. I want to be posting more than I was last year, and I was already posting 5 times a week. So I want to be posting more. I want to be selling more. I want it to be more lifestyle orientated. I want it to be more inspiring. I just want to double down on it and get really good at it. And if I'm going to double down on it, I literally need to have better systems in place to make that sustainable. So I'm going to be looking into that. The next thing I'm going to be doing in regards to nurturing the leads is master automated events and have ads running on them all of the time. So I have converted really well with my automated events, especially because I don't promote them very often because I'm promoting a live event typically more often than not, or something that I've created more recently. So they just sit in the background, and if people find them, they typically convert, which is really epic. So I can only imagine what would happen if I poured ads onto them. But I would probably want to make some changes, or need to make some changes with the current automated ones I have if I was to put ads on it, just because I would have to experiment, right? And so I want to master that. I want to master different types of automated events, get really, really good at that, and have a full funnel in place so that ads can really do a lot of the work once I have set that all up once. So I want to master that, get it done. I think that'll be super helpful to go along with my live online events. So I'm going to be doing that. And then the fourth thing that I'm going to be doing to nurture my leads that come my way in 2024 to reach 600K and beyond is to be focusing on the data a lot more and double down on what works. So I've gotten really great results in my events in 2023, and I did absolutely look at the data, but this year I really want to study the data, because sometimes it's left a little bit up to my guessing about why one event did significantly better than another. All of them worked, but obviously some worked better than others. And I'm left to guess sometimes about why that is. Is it because I spoke about this versus this? Was it this branding? Was it the time of year? There's so many factors. And I think if I study in lots of different ways the data and have support with that as well, it's going to allow us to just continuously be taking all of the parts that work and letting go of all of the parts that don't. So eventually we just have events that do better and better every single time, more often than not. That's kind of the focus there. And I'm really, really excited about that. Now, finally, convert. So what I'm going to do once I've attracted and nurtured the leads is how I'm planning or intending on turning those leads into high quality, high paying clients. So firstly, sales calls does really well for me. I convert majority of my sales calls, which is something I'm super, super proud of. And I want to promote sales calls a lot more. It's something I didn't really mention too often in 2023. I really just, if someone asked me or that's the way the conversation went, I offered it. But I sort of stopped making that a huge promotional brand. I didn't talk about booking a sales call with me that much, and yet it works so well and I have so much time and capacity to do it. So I'm thinking of opening that up a lot more in 2024, and that will also be because I'm running ads. They are colder people that don't know me. Having a call, I think, is going to be quite important. I'm not saying it necessarily is essential, but I do believe it is very important and might speed up the process a lot more. So I'm going to be offering sales calls a lot more, promoting them a lot more, and especially off the back of my events as well. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be selling off the back of my events, and I'm going to be selling in DMs if the attract/nurture section was done correctly. So yeah, going to have a really solid qualifying process to have great sales calls. What I mean by that is I definitely don't want to just be having sales calls with really, really cold people or that aren't ready. I don't want to waste my time either. Just because I have capacity for it doesn't mean I want to do that, just from an energy point of view. So I want to make sure that, especially introducing ads, we're going to be attracting all sorts of people. I want to make sure the qualifying process is really, really solid, so that if the person isn't the right kind of person, that I can cancel the call or redirect them to somewhere better or something like that, as I really don't want to waste mine or their time. So I just want to double check everything's really great there. I also want to open up space in my calendar to have more meaningful conversations on a regular basis and build genuine relationships, because like I said at the beginning of this episode, I really think that this is something we're going to see in 2024 being really important, is that rawness, that authenticness. I think it's going to be a real standout feature and create a huge point of difference because of AI and appointment setters and all of these things that are sort of taking over, and people are just losing trust. Am I even talking to this person, And I think DMs, direct messaging people, not cold people, I've never done that, but just people that have opted in for something or are in my world, has always worked really well for me. But I think last year, because I was focused so much on events, I spent less time having long form conversations with people, and I more just had conversations with people if they reached out to me, or just to send people that have been in my space links to my freebies and events if they asked for it or whatever else, and less time being hey, how actually are you? What is going on in your world? And asking more questions and building more of a relationship. I of course did that. It's always served me well, but I want to double down on it. Again, I have capacity, and I think it will only speed things up, especially if I'm introducing ads. So you can see that I had a really great year in 2023. And so I'm not sitting here changing so many things in 2024. No, I'm continuing everything I was doing in 2024. But all I'm doing is just improving it. I'm paying more attention to the details and the specifics and just making space and adjustments where necessary because I'm implementing something into my business, which is Facebook ads. And that does change things up a little bit, right? I really believe that advertising just amplifies your current organic results. So it's not going to work if you can't currently attract or convert people organically. It's only going to amplify what you currently do, but tweaks will need to be put in place knowing that you are attracting much colder people. So I'm literally doing the same thing I did in 2023. I'm just doing more of it. I'm doing it more intentionally and I'm making space for ads. I hope that that's the takeaway you can hear because I had a really great year in 2023 and maybe you did. You don't want to reinvent the wheel and change everything. I'm not looking to change anything. I'm looking to improve and amplify upon reflection from the year before. And I hope that that's something really big that you take away from this episode is that if you got results in something last year, maybe you had a really good month, maybe you had a really good year, maybe you had a really good week. I want you to look at that. Why? What worked? What didn't work? And what are you going to do differently next time to do more of what worked and less of what didn't work, you know? Like taking the time to focus on that is so, so key. So I really, really hope that you take away that golden nugget there because that is key. I see people they get caught up by these, shiny object syndromes of like following different business coaches, like, oh, this coach is doing this coach is doing this coach is doing this, and I'm going to do that and that and that and that. And they're trying to juggle so many things. They're juggling so many balls. And it makes it really, really hard to focus, to improve, to master because they're dabbling, because they're not focused on themselves and their business. They're too busy comparing themselves and looking externally all of the time. This is why I've been with my coach for literally 3 years and don't plan on stopping anytime soon because long-term mentorship is absolutely key and staying in your own lane is absolutely key and trusting yourself, backing yourself, applying what works, adjusting accordingly and committing to mastery is honestly what's going to allow you to have your best year yet in business. Okay? Let that land, let that sink in. So that is my marketing strategy that I am going to be implementing for 2024 to reach over $600,000 in cash. Yes. So in summary, I'm going to be focusing on more high quality content, doubling down on the podcast, more free value than ever before. I'm going to run ads. I'm going to be running 8 online events throughout the year. I'm going to be having really intentional conversations and leveraging my Facebook group even more than I already am. I'm going to be offering more sales calls, selling off the back of events, selling in my DMs, and that's it. I'm really just going to be focused on that. So I'm really, really excited and I hope you are too. Now you might be wondering, okay, you're doing lots of things. I'm so excited for you, Sophia. Where should I be to make sure that I can attend those events and I can follow this journey at a deeper level? So the places I hang out on is Instagram. I'm at Sofia Rose Bernardi. That is where you're going to see on my Instagram stories everything that I'm always doing in that very moment. I always promote my events, my freebies, everything that's important and upcoming is always in my Instagram stories. So make sure you follow me at Sofia Rose Bernardi. I'm always going to be sharing things on the podcast as well. This is where I can go long form and I can go deep. So make sure you are subscribed to the podcast on your favorite platform, whether that be Spotify or Google or Apple Podcasts. I'm a Spotify podcast kind of gal. So yeah, make sure you subscribe or follow. Even rate the podcast. It'd be greatly appreciated so we can spread this podcast far and wide. It means the world to me. The next thing is you want to be in my Facebook group. It's all linked below in the show notes. And my website is also going to have, like, if you go sofiarosebernardi.com/links, whatever I'm promoting in that moment is going to be in the links section. That's where you can see my offers, both paid and free, my upcoming events, latest up-to-date freebies, and anything else that's going on will be at sofiarosebernardi.com/links. So make sure you check that out. I hope you have loved this episode where you can literally steal my marketing strategy for $600K in 2024. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to DM me either on Facebook or on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi and I'll get back to you. Feel free to share this podcast on your stories. It means the world to me. I'll share it back and give you some love. I would really, really appreciate that. And other than that, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could take a moment to spread the word so that I can continue to create episodes such as this each week by either leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform or sharing this episode to your Instagram stories and tagging me. In return, I would love to give back. I would love to gift you my 10 Money Mindset Journal Prompts workbook. This workbook will take you through the very journal prompts that have supported me to clear my money blocks, master my mindset, and grow a 7-figure coaching business. Once you have either left a positive review and or shared the episode to your Instagram stories, come DM me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi and I will send you the journal prompts workbook. Thank you so much in advance and I'll see you in the next episode.